there's some Russian mobster out there.
Yes.
With just two bananas and pajamas.
Yes. Oh, and welcome to the Alpha Primos podcast, the show where we talk about anything and everything from music stands to OnlyFans. Hey, I'm Juan Soto.
And I'm your magical obese friend, Paco.
And I'm selling my feet pics. I'm JJ.
You're selling them on OnlyFans?
Here's $1.
No, I mean, if you just want to come over, I'll hand you a Polaroid.
He's like, I'll just hand you a Polaroid. Text me your number. I'll go ahead and just.
That's classy as fuck to sell them on Polaroid.
It is. You're a real classic right there.
See, OnlyFans girls charge extra for that.
Yeah.
Just say they're vintage feet pics.
Yeah, I was about to
with
say
those Polaroid cameras, be their vintage as fuck.
Can frame it.
Just have like that serial killer wall of feet pics. That's serious. Just sit at your computer, you got at the wall with the red string and everything, just going to random feet pics. Be like, what are you doing? I'm making a map.
I'm trying to. I'm doing like a 6 degrees of separation thing with Kevin Bacon, only so far I'm missing his feet.
He's the only foot I need.
I have the dad from Family Ties who was in Tremors as Bert, but like I don't have his feet.
Oh yeah, he was in fucking Tremors. Holy shit.
Yeah, he's Bert.
I forget. I was like, holy shit, I forget that's him.
He's in all the Tremor style.
Yeah, he went from like Family Man to just redneck prepared doomsday prepper.
Yeah, like in my head, he's not the dad from Family Ties anymore. Like it's not until I see Family Ties somewhere I'm like, that's fucking Bert, right?
He's the guy from Tremors.
See, those are the real multiverses we need. Of like all of the like Malcolm in the Middle and what's it called? Breaking Bad, like they meet or like they switch roles all of a sudden. Bert and the dad from Family Guys, they switch all of a sudden. He just shows up. It's like, the hell kind of security is this we have in this house? And then the dad with his sweaters, he's like, oh, this is nice. Those are the real those are the like real multiverses. Multiverse I want to see. All the sitcoms that just come together, like Family Ties and was it Family Ties?
Yeah, it's Family Ties.
No, not Family Ties, but Carl Winslow. Fuck.
Oh, Family Matters.
Family Matters, and Fresh Prince.
I mix them up in my head a lot.
Yeah, Family Matters and like Fresh Prince.
Well, Family Matters ties into Die Hard.
That's right. He does tie into Die Hard. Wouldn't it be great? Like all those like 90s sitcoms, like Family Matters and Step by Step and Families. All those they all live on the same street. They all live in Chicago somewhere on the same street. They're all neighbors. We just never know about it.
What wasn't Step by Step in Chicago? It doesn't.
I thought Step by Step was in California.
Maybe it was. No, yeah.
By the way, Step by Step that ties into what is it? Those bootleg ass karate movies from the 90s because
the Three Ninjas and shit.
Not Three Ninjas. It was like American Kickboxer or something. Because the cousin that lived in the van in the driveway, he was a martial artist, like a real legit martial artist, and he went on to do these. I think it was American Kickboxer. I think that was the name of those. I think that was the name of the movies.
It's not American Ninja because the dude in American Ninja was like in his 40s already. He was that hard 80s 30. Where
how old are you? He's like, I'm 27, bro. You look 50. You look 50, man. You're only 28. Holy shit. But like, you know what? I never. Those movies they just kept making the American Ninja movies.
Yeah,
I never watched
like
any
4.
of them. I always wanted to watch them, but I never watched them.
Oh, when I
Like,
worked for Blizzard, when we were working from home, like I ran through like all of Disney Plus's catalog, like while I was working.
Yeah.
They laid me off. I can admit to all this bullshit now. So I started watching Tubi, like and Pluto TV, just to have some background noise.
Yeah.
And they had like, for whatever reason, they'll always be missing one. Like they'll have 2, 3, and 4, but they won't have one, or they'll have 1 and 3 and 4, but they won't have 2. Like for whatever reason, it was always like that. But they had the American Ninja movies for a while. The one that I really wanted to see, and it's not American Ninja, but it was like The Ultimate Weapon or something like that. It was an old like 80s action movie. It was a B movie like that went straight to video or whatever. But I wanted to watch it because apparently Troy Baker is in it, the voice actor.
Really?
okay.
It was like one of his earliest roles. And I heard him talk about it with Nolan North on the YouTube channel that they had for a bit.
Yeah. Was it Retro Replays?
Yeah, something like that. I think that was it.
So the name of the movies are Kickboxer. He was in Kickboxer 2, Kickboxer 3, The Art of War, and then Kickboxer 4. He was also in Class of 1999 2, The Substitute. I mean, it looks like he was in a movie with fucking Kevin Sorbo, like in 2010. So he's still acting.
Oh, that was probably like a fucking Christian movie then.
Let's see, it's Tales of an Ancient Empire.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very Christian. This is 2010.
Who was that? Well, I mean, Jesus' empire is ancient.
Yeah, that and Kevin Sorbo started doing like those like like God's Not Dead type movies and stuff. Yeah, so it's not a stretch.
Him and Kirk
you know what, man?
Kirk Cameron's the other one that did all.
Yeah, Kirk Cameron's the one that started all that. I'm not gonna lie, man. I do miss shows like fucking Xena and Hercules, fucking Cleopatra 2525. That was my fucking jam, bro. Fucking Cleopatra 25. I still remember this song. 25 in the year 25.
25. Yeah.
Bro, she forget the actress's name, but she's still fine as fuck. She was fine back then. She's still fine now.
Was she the one in Species?
No. Yeah, I think she was the blonde girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she was in Species. I was talking about Gina Torres.
Oh, Gina Torres was in Cleopatra
25. Yeah, bro, she's like one of the main. She's not the main one, but she's like the leader of the crew. Gina Torres is still fine. That girl just she ages like fine motherfucking wine. Bro, Gina Torres. Yeah,
oh shit, you're right.
Yeah, right. Like Gina Torres, bro. Fucking Wash and Firefly was a lucky ass man. Like you mother. No, but I miss those kinds of shows, man. Even though they were campy as fuck, and
it's not the girl.
I was so young. It was early '90s. It was like mid.
The girl from
mid-90s.
Species was in another show like that, but it wasn't. It wasn't Cleopatra.
I think Beastman was another one kind of like that in the same vein.
The Beastmaster.
Yeah, Beastmaster.
the robot chicken.
What was the other one I did? Because I forget. I didn't even know that fucking what's his name? Fucking Judge Dredd was in Xena.
Carl Urban,
yeah. I was like, what? That dude was in Xena? And like they show the pictures and everything. I'm like, holy shit! I didn't even know that was Carl Urban.
Yeah. God damn it! This is gonna bother me. What campy ass show was she on?
Oh, you know what show she might have been on? I think she used to host those like urban legend fact or fiction shows.
Maybe.
She was like, her name is Jennifer Sky, right?
Yeah, no, but she's not the girl from Species. The girl from Species is Natasha Henstridge. And
I think she I think she hosted one of those like urban legend, like fact or fiction shows. That's where I think I recognize her from. So it might be the same thing.
She Spies.
That's it. That's probably
She Spies 2002.
Yes, that's
that.
totally it. She Spies.
She Spies.
Yeah, it was one of those like, campy B shows that made you think that it had porn because they would put it on at like 1 a.m, but that was just because they were trying.
It was probably it's on Skinemax. You're like, I want to watch this whole thing. You saw a really good spy story. Not a single side boob. No side boob.
That's how they tricked me into watching Cleopatra 2525. It was like, this cover is nothing but chicks. They showed it like...
That was prime time. That was prime time, I think, when it first started.
Well, yeah, probably, because I was watching the reruns in Eagle Pass. We didn't have like UPN and shit. So.
Yeah, dude, UPN, Homeboys in Space. God damn, that was a great show.
We didn't have
the Wayans horribly, man. They did the Wayans brothers horribly with these shows.
We didn't have a lot of those networks. We didn't have UPN and we didn't have the WB. We just had like Fox and CBS.
Yeah.
And
now you don't even have Fox down here. You can't watch the Cowboys game.
Oh, for real?
Pay $8. Yeah, like
you have to pay for it.
Yeah, me and Dad we watch football on Sundays, and usually on Sundays. But we'll watch as many games as we can. And what was it, Thursday, Thanksgiving? We're gonna watch the Cowboys game. My dad's like, "Hey, find the Cowboys game." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I'm like, "Oh shit, they don't play down here because there's no Fox." I have to get not Roku, but Fox Sports, Hulu Live TV, YouTube TV, like Direct TV, or I think I have to pay on Sling for the game, or like Fubo or some shit. And I was looking through each one of them. I was like, dude, if I wanted to do it, I was like, man, I already got Hulu. I'll do Hulu Live. That's $73. Fuck that. Hell no, I'm not paying that. And everything else is the same price. Everything was like, nothing but everything is like, dude, YouTube TV is 80, is like 70 it's like 70 something bucks.
I know YouTube TV is that expensive. Hulu I had it for a little bit. But I think Sling you can get, because Sling has like 3 packages. It has the orange package, the blue package, and then both like together. But I think if you just get one of the packages, I think they both have Fox.
I think they do, but I just didn't want to pay for it. Let's be real. I just didn't want to pay for it. That was it. I was looking for like, because nobody like my parents. They have access to everything. My Netflix, my Disney, Paramount, everything I got. They have access to, and they even have. Daniel gave us like his password for like VIX TV, the Spanish streaming stuff, because there's a show my mom wanted to watch. They don't use any of it. They don't watch any of it. You know what they watch? They watch whatever the local channels are that come from Mexico, like Canal 5 and shit. And then my mom watches Turkish soap operas on YouTube. That's what she watches, Turkish soap operas on YouTube, which apparently is a thing amongst Mexican ladies now, are the Turkish soap operas. It's huge. Like my coworkers, all these ladies, they're like, I don't even know how we got on the topic, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we were watching the show." I was like, "Oh, you're watching that too?" She's like, "Do you watch it?" I was like, "No, my mom and grandma, they sit there and they watch that all fucking day, all day. There's like 1,000 fucking episodes. This is longer than fucking One Piece right now. That's all they watch. Even my dad watches it with them now. Like that's all they watch. They just watch Turkish soap operas now. They're all translated. Well, they're just subtitles. I was like, this is like anime for old people. Like, because it's all in Turkish and just the Spanish subtitles, and they're just in there reading along. I was like, holy shit, this is what you guys watch, damn. And if it's not that, it's the Exatlon, and I forgot what the other like Mexican.
It's the challenge, ain't it? It's like
it's kind of like the challenge, yeah. I think that's what it's called. Desafío.
Yeah.
Desafío is the one from Colombia. That one's good. Desafío the box, that one's good. And then there's, because Desafío, I forgot what Desafío means.
It's the challenge.
Desafío is that challenge? I always say challenge.
Yeah.
Well, kind of. Yeah, like it's because challenge is reto. Yeah.
Yeah, it can also be reto,
but
like,
it can also
Well, we used to get the struggle. It in Fort Worth. Yeah, because we used to get it in Fort Worth on like Telefutura, and then when my mom moved down here, like we couldn't find it here. I forget. I think now that it's on VIX, that Daniel Lesbaro uses VIX, the VIX. Yeah, all the seasons are on there, so she's watched a few of them now. But it's Exatlon, and I forget what the other one is, because Exatlon is like not just in Mexico, but I think it's like worldwide. I think it's a show that's like in Brazil, like all over Latin America. I even think it's in Europe, I think. I don't think they have an American one. I'm sure they will. And she watches Survivor in Spanish. Survivor Mexico or whatever the fuck it is. One of those. That's what they watch all fucking day. So even though they have access to like Netflix and all this other shit, they don't watch it. They don't use it. That's why I didn't want to pay for like YouTube TV or any of the other stuff, because they won't watch it. They won't watch it. They know how to use it. It's not that they don't, like, sometimes people are like, oh, it's because your parents probably don't know. No, they fucking know how to use it. They just like, fuck that. I don't want to watch all that. So yeah, sometimes they will. There's something they're interested in. I'll have it on the Xbox, and I have to move the Xbox all the way over there because it's like one of your passwords or Daniel's passwords. I'm like, I'm not asking for that shit. It's already on the Xbox. I'm just gonna switch it. I'm just gonna switch the Xbox over. Like, I'm just gonna take the whole thing over there because I'm not putting it on the TV. Fuck it.
Well, speaking of stuff people want to watch, you alphas for tuning in and watching us, even though we kind of just went off on a tangent for a second.
As we do.
I feel you guys are used to it.
Cleopatra 2525 will do that.
2525. Now go watch it for the young bucks out there. Go watch Cleopatra 2525.
Yeah, it's probably on Tubi. It's probably on one of the free ones.
It's got to be on Tubi or something. Homeboys in Space. Go watch that.
But yes, we
acknowledge them.
We must acknowledge our true alphas for leaving comments and tuning in and watching. And those of you guys that are lurking, we see you guys. You guys may not leave a comment, but we see you guys, and we appreciate you guys just as much. Especially considering our last few videos have been doing really good, breaking over 100 views. So believe us when we say we see you guys, and we appreciate it.
Oh,
but yes, we did get some comments, so let's go over them real quick.
Let me guess.
We got two. You'll know one of them, but we got
one of them our rock.
Yes, it is.
Who keeps us anchored?
Yep. But yeah, we got a new comment on our Gladiator 2 review. This comment comes from Atlas9766 saying, quote, honestly, I kept pausing it every 10 minutes wondering when I was supposed to care about anything that was happening, but I guess I didn't care because I didn't see the first Gladiator. But still, Denzel's parents bought them another 30 minutes before I just stopped watching. 0 out of 10. Boring, uninspired, and seemed like they were trying to copy how the original 300 was shot, but it just played like a big budget, talentless, overblown TikTok skit.
Oh, damn. That's harsh.
Dang, that's a pretty scathing.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. I will agree with this uninspired comment.
Yeah,
I will agree with that. That I agree with. As far as going as TikTok, like, damn, bro, like that's hard. That's hard.
I don't think they were trying to. Maybe in like the opening fight scene, they were trying to copy 300, but like
maybe.
Yeah, I disagree on the 300 comment just because I don't know, man. There's a pretty big difference between 300 and.
Yeah, bro, there was like Gladiator. Zero slow-mo in Gladiator.
There's no slow-mo. There's no
slow-mo. Zero abs.
The one thing they had in common was the CGI animals.
Yeah. I mean, there was 0 abs in the whole movie.
I mean, Gladiator 2 could have used the random goat man. But
yeah. I mean, fair point.
Yeah.
That would have been like, wait, who is that? Where'd he come from? Like, I gotta keep watching. Fuck, I gotta watch.
In 300, it's just randomly there for no reason. It's just a random goat man smoking a hookah.
Nope. Now I want to watch 300 again. but But yeah, all right. Well, we appreciate you giving us your thoughts, Atlas.
It's a fair review, Atlas.
Yes, very fair review. But I'm assuming, yeah, they didn't finish watching it. They said they only watched 30 minutes.
Hey, if he didn't finish watching it, he was like, "Fuck this movie." All
right.
He knows what he's
right. I mean, I saw it in theaters, so I can't get up and just leave. I paid money to sit here, you know. But I mean, if I was watching it, but if I was watching it, you know, free of charge at home, well then, I mean, I could just walk out.
Yeah, I'd be like, man, I'm walking
whenever I want to. But unfortunately, I paid to see it, so I don't have that luxury.
Yeah, I paid for that and for popcorn, and I was like, I'm finishing one or both of these.
But yes, thank you, Atlas. You're a true alpha. The movie isn't, but you are.
No, it is not.
And then our next comment is from our boy
Jojira.
Jojira.
Our rock.
And man, the myth, the legend.
Saying, quote, I wonder how things would be different with the Gladiator 2 we almost got, which had Maximus coming back from the dead, battling Roman and Greek gods, time travel, and Maximus fighting in the Vietnam War, end quote.
Yeah,
I heard about this.
Was that a real thing?
Yeah.
So I thought he was trolling us. I thought he was
what Russell Crowe really wanted this second version of Gladiator. Where he's still Maximus.
Yeah.
But in a modern setting, and it was just
he's basically immortal.
It'd
be like the opening of X-Men Origins Wolverine, where they're just Wolverine and Sabretooth are just fighting every major war.
Every major war and battle.
It'd be that. Only with Maximus.
And it was gonna build up to him being in modern day Detroit, and he was a detective or some shit.
Oh my god, he's Max Payne.
Yeah.
It's just from Gladiator to Max Payne. He still has his sword.
I would have just been look, Russell Crowe, we can do that, but we're just not going to call it Gladiator 2.
Yeah, you can't call it Gladiator 2.
We'll call it Highlander, the reimagining.
Highlander, the Roman version.
How many subtitles has Highlander gone through? There was Endgame.
That's why I didn't put a number at the end of it, because I was gonna say 5, Highlander 5, but then I thought, wait a minute. I think there was actually 5.
I thought there were 10 Highlander movies. There's so many of those movies.
Highlander 1, and then 2 is The Quickening.
Yeah.
I don't know if 3 had a subtitle. And then isn't Endgame 4? And the series is in between in there somewhere.
Yeah. I'm not that versed in Highlander, man.
I remember the series and I remember the cartoon. They were two different things.
Oh my god, I didn't even know it had a cartoon. Jesus.
Yeah, Tiger, I remember we would wake up early to go to school, me and you, Juan, to catch the bus. But at the time we woke up, we didn't have, back then we didn't have Cartoon Network or anything. And so Nickelodeon was still on Nick Jr. or might still be showing some leftover Nick at Night stuff. So the only channel that had cartoons was TNT and TBS.
Oh, okay.
So no, because Fox was still showing infomercials. This was before Pokemon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
So we would watch TNT and TBS, and they showed Scooby-Doo, and then after that they would show Highlander the series, Highlander the animated series. So we never finished an episode of Highlander because after the first commercial break we had to go because that's when the bus showed up.
That's when the
But that's the only reason I remember it, because that was our alarm clock to leave.
That was the bus is coming. Yeah. No, man, I don't remember it. Even right now, I'm looking at pictures of it, and it's not
I don't
bringing
remember it.
anything back. Yeah, I
3.
blocked that shit out, man.
I
Okay,
mean, I
so
would still like to
But
see the
Highlander
Gladiator
3 is the
movie.
sorcerer, and then I think 4 is Endgame. But yeah.
all right.
Yeah,
Wait,
I
there's a
remember
final
that.
dimension? What the fuck is this?
All right, we'll move on from Highlander. So we got one more comment from Jojiro that we got to read,
Yeah,
and
sorry.
then because we haven't even jumped into our main topics, we gotta move on.
In an hour.
But yes, Jojiro left us another comment this time on our Pixel Primos episode. Yeah, that's right, guys. We left you guys 2 videos this past week, so be sure to give them a watch, check them out if y'all haven't. But yes, Jojiro commenting, quote, this is on our Pixel Primos Game Awards nomination episodes and the controversies. Said, quote, I haven't played any of the nominees of Game of the Year, but I'm rooting for Astrobot. What they should do is have a quick montage of winners by default for games of a genre that didn't have any competition. End quote. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think it's mainly just sports and racing that they always have to bundle that one together
Together.
because there's never enough for each. But I mean everything else, like it's basically fair game.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they ever did like a horror game category, and then yeah, if there's a year where there's only the one horror game, well then yeah, I guess it theoretically it would win it by default. Mm-hmm. But we're hitting the point where there's just so many games coming out, even if it's not like big publishers, the indies are definitely making moves and filling in some of the gap in between the big titles that I wouldn't be shocked if we hit a point where game of the year will be like half big publisher, other half indie games.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
well, we're kind of almost there with this one if you count Black Myth Wukong as an indie title. Since
Well, isn't it done by an indie studio?
Not exactly. It's
not. Go ahead and explain it, Glenn.
It's because this one's like in the little tree. So they're a new studio.
Yeah.
It's from China.
Okay.
This is their first game. So it's their first step in, the gaming industry.
Mm-hmm.
So it's independent in that sense. But
they got money.
I think they got money, and
okay.
I don't know how true it is that it was like funded by
the government.
The government.
Oh, so you want to consider them so much as an indie studio because they have so much backing, and they have the budget. Unlike traditional indie studios would be like, bro,
right? The way
I'm maxing out my cards.
So exactly. And
okay. That's fair. Fair assessment.
It's not. That's why it goes back to the whole. There needs to be rules that establish what counts as an indie. Because I remember something similar happened with. I hope I'm not getting the game wrong, but I think the game was Dave the Diver. Where people thought that was an indie game, and it's not. It's actually from a well-funded established studio. They're not indie, just because the game is has that pixelated indie art look, style. Yeah. People assumed it was indie, but technically it wasn't. It had a budget. It had money, and that's where you kind of what counts as an independent game? We need rules that establish what counts, what doesn't.
Yeah.
Because I know some people like to use the like, well, how many employees do you have? I think it's like if you have more than, I don't know, 50, they're like, well, no, you're big budget. But it's like, all right, but what about someone that has like 75?
Yeah.
They're over the indie, but they're still
They're so
small.
broke.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why like it's kind of like tough to like really like put the indie label on specific studios. And so that's where this one, like, is it technically an indie? I mean, they're a brand new studio and it's their first game, so technically, yes.
I mean, but
But
it
if
looks
they,
like a AAA game, like it's
no, the quality is
Yeah.
there.
yeah, it's like got
But
that AAA quality. So,
mhm,
yeah, I
but
guess it would probably have to come down to funding. I guess for me,
mhm,
like, yeah, I'm guessing that would be. I don't know if it's the most fair way to consider it
mhm,
an indie
I
studio, really. You
yeah,
know,
I
uh,
I kind of have to default to that because at this point, Devolver, I don't think is really in
mhm,
indie.
yeah,
Like
indie, yeah,
Devolver's pretty big, but Devolver's just the publisher. Like
mm-hmm,
they're
uh
just
huh.
the they're
They're
kind
the
of just the
money. Yeah,
marketing. Yeah.
yeah,
mm-hmm,
they're the money. They're the pocketbook.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm guessing I guess that's probably the best way. I guess it's like, well, you can have a lot of employees, but still not be a big studio in the same sense as like EA or some shit like that, and
Yeah.
something like the developers of Black Myth Wukong is like y'all are getting government. If it's true, you guys are getting government funding. Like
Hmm.
I can't really consider you an indie studio when you have so much, I guess, capital and resources compared to like somebody like, oh yeah, man, I may have 50 employees, but like I'm struggling to pay each and every one of them to get this game out, and
Yeah.
then it's like if that studio's only got one game, this Black Myth Wukong's like their only game. It's like, well, I mean, they only got one game. It's like, yeah, but still, bro, like, I understand it's just one game and it's like their fresh foray, but I can't really call them indie.
Yeah.
Even though it feels like I should call them indie, but it's like, oh, are they really in?
Yeah. So that's where this one
Yeah,
will
it's
come
it's
up
it's
with, but
it's too murky, I guess, because
mhm,
I feel like
but
if once you set those rules, then you have the hardest part is trying to make it fair for everybody, which is the hardest thing, be like, okay, you fall under this, you fall under that. Well, that's no fair because of this. That's no fair because of this. It's like, shit, where do I find that middle ground to be like, okay, once you pass this point, you're not indie anymore. You're big dog. You're in the big leagues.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
You had
you're
to find
there.
that middle ground of like, okay, once you get
Yeah,
here, you're big. You're big league. Now this is still
mhm,
indie leagues.
yeah, you're with the big boys.
Yeah,
but yeah, but no, yeah, just to bring it back to Jojira's comment that yeah, I am also rooting for Astrobot, and likewise, yeah, I do think if there is no competitors, they should just win out an award by default. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, it's yeah, we'll see how the Game Awards decides
yeah.
to handle that sort of stuff. But all right, let us now move on to our main topics of discussion. So, uh, let's talk about Captain America.
Captain America.
So yeah, we were
The
talking about
Star
movies,
Spangled
Gladiator,
Man
and
with a plan.
so I figured let's keep it on movies for a little bit.
Mm.
But yes, Captain America's new movie is supposed to come out soon, ish.
February, right?
I
God
mean,
damn, that soon?
we we don't know anymore because they might delay it. I don't know. That's a good
I don't
question.
know if it's because I don't really watch normal TV anymore, like through
Mm-hmm.
cable or anything. So even with Sling, you kind of end up getting the same commercials like over and over again. But I completely lose track of when movies come out now. Like it used to be when I watched cable back home, like yeah, I knew exactly when fucking Moana 1 was coming out. But like I got a YouTube ad today and it was like, fuck, that shit comes out like tomorrow? I did not know Moana 2 comes out so soon, and then it's the same with this one. I was like, I thought that was still a year away. Like, I didn't think we were getting Captain America in 3 months.
You know what? You know why else I think you feel like it's coming out so far away is because we've only gotten, I think, the one trailer, and that's it. You know, typically for these bigger budget movies, you get the one teaser and then the 2 trailers and then all the commercials, and that's it.
Bro, I got 3 Craven trailers, and they still ended up pushing that shit back.
Yeah, oh god, Craven. But again,
I'm gonna watch that
Captain America.
Yeah, Captain America.
So to catch some people up who don't know what's going on. So Captain America: Brave New World, yes, it is set to come out February 14, 2025. But the reason why I was skeptical about the release date is because they are currently planning to reshoot the movie.
Holy shit.
Because of poor test screenings. So, to explain to the audience, test screenings is basically their way of getting audience feedback for a movie or a project. You know, they'll find random people at like a mall or something, and then they have them either watch parts of a movie, trailers, you name it, something. Or I guess in these particular cases, they had them watch pretty much most of the movie, what they had available and that was ready to be shown. And well, they left bad reviews saying they didn't like it. And so they're calling them back to reshoot some stuff, hopefully to make the movie better.
I wonder where or what scenes they were like, oh, this bullshit is fucking stupid. Like,
so with test screenings, it's always kind of like a double-edged sword. At least,
yes,
I think so. Because there have been times where, like, you know what? Yeah, the audience screening or the test screening feedback was right, and you guys should have done something. You guys should have like made that change that was suggested, and they ended up not doing it. But then there are other times where it's like, nah, the original ending was better, and you guys fucked it up by listening to the fucking test screening audience. Like,
yeah, no, like, I think you hit it right on the head with that. Yeah, it is very much a double-edged sword, but this is where, like, man, movies get kind of like complicated because you know, if there's an artistic vision that, you know, the powers that be, you know, be it the director or something, doesn't want changed, and if they have enough control over the project, well, then they'll make sure that whatever their vision is what ends up on the screen.
Yeah.
But other times there's too much, control over the studios, the guys in the suits and whatnot, and they have a lot of pull in what goes on with these movies. And I think the most obvious cases of this happening is all of the Sony Marvel movies, Kraven the Hunter, for example.
God.
I think those are examples of, people in suits going, oh, look at this movie. Everyone like this. So you guys got to do that too. Oh, you got to put this in the movie too. And then it's like, no, the movie, it lacks soul. It lacks structure. It's bland.
especially in the case of the Sony Marvel movies, they lack Spider-Man. That is their
Yeah.
number one problem.
It's
You're right. It does lack a soul, and that soul's name is
that
Spider-Man.
is Spider-Man. It's like there's a reason why these villains are famous.
Yeah.
And it's because they're great antagonists to the
Spider-Man.
protagonist. You know, they find the one flaw in like Spider-Man and they're able to exploit it. You know, there's a little bit of Spider-Man's personality in his villains. You know, Venom being his most famous one. It's like his perfect opposite. You know, even looking at like, you know, Peter Parker and Eddie Brock. You know, he's the nerdy kid, always got picked on stuff. Whereas Eddie, he's the jock. He's the big buff guy, gets all the chicks. So he's the total opposite of him. So yeah, it's the perfect antagonist. You know, he's got the same power, similar powers and whatnot. Knows how to exploit his own weaknesses. He doesn't react to the spider sense. You name it, it's perfect. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great writing. So now it's like we're gonna get this villain no Spider-Man. No Spider-Man to be his equal, to be his, and it's funny because I think the movies would have worked better if they had just done like the vigilante route with him, you know, like in the books that he's the anti-hero.
Okay.
But I don't know, man. They just did their own thing with it, and they're not terrible.
No, I don't think they're
great.
terrible. I think they're okay in their own way.
Yeah,
like, they're entertaining. I think they're entertaining. I think they're funny.
Yeah,
I think I like Venom's character and Eddie Brock, or what's his name, Tom
Hardy.
Tom Hardy. I want to say
Tom Hardy is carrying those movies.
Yeah, he really is. Like I think I like the dynamic between them two, and then I even like the dynamic between some of the other characters in the movie, especially the Asian store clerk. That shit cracks me up every time. Even just those little moments, it's hilarious. The character itself was good, but everything else around it just wasn't, you know?
Yeah, the dynamic between Eddie and the Venom symbiote reminds me of a fucking Shredder and Krang from like classic.
Yeah.
The original
from
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon.
Yeah. With Captain America though, I wonder, I know this is probably something that somebody has said somewhere, but I wonder if it has anything to do with this. Just like, well, it's not Steve Rogers, it's Anthony Mackie. It's probably there's somebody out there just like about race, bro, or woke. Like that's what I feel like. They got a couple of those people in the screening, and that swayed them somehow. Like, okay, we're gonna have to do reshoots. You know, I feel like that. That's happened. That some of that probably happened. I feel.
Like, I think that's part of it. Yeah. I wouldn't say they were at the screening, but I do think
that definitely factors in.
Yeah, I think
so too.
I think that's what. Because I mean, I've seen discourse online, and I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. Just go watch the movie. I think it's,
even if it wasn't Anthony Mackie, it's just the fact that it's not Chris Evans. That like this is. People are already accustomed to seeing Chris Evans as Captain America, and now it's a new guy.
They've changed him,
and I don't think that many people watch the show. Falcon and Winter Soldier as are going to go see this movie.
Yeah. And then I wonder how it's going to factor into Secret War, because I think that's the new thing is Secret Wars, isn't it? That's like the new all this new what do they call it?
Phase,
yeah. Like what this new phase, all these new phase, this new phase is going to lead up to, I think is what the rumor is going to lead to Secret War. I think that's the rumor.
I mean, it's hard to tell at this point because they've kind of just been all over the place with some of these movies. But I do want to clear up like one thing is that reshoots for a movie is normal. There seems to be this growing like myth that they had to reshoot the movie. Oh, it's gonna suck. Why are they reshooting it if it wasn't? It's like, guys, reshoots are normal.
Standard, yeah.
It happens, and I think it's because I think the general audience doesn't realize that sometimes when you're reshooting a movie, it's not so much that you're changing an entire scene or you're adding, like, no, sometimes it's just, ah, crap, we forgot to get a close up. Ah, crap, there was a thing in the way or something. And it's just that, and they call those pickups,
Yeah. My favorite example of like what you're describing, because it's kind of an extreme, is the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man. That had a shit ton of reshoots because they started production before 9/11.
Right.
Oh,
so you could see the towers in a bunch of shots.
Yeah.
And at post 9/11, it's like, yeah, maybe we should
reshoot this.
Yeah.
Wasn't there also the rumor of the scene where he captures like some bad guys in between the towers, like he has them hanging between the towers? Isn't there a scene?
Like a big web?
Yeah, like a big web in between.
Yeah,
and it's like, hey, we can't have that in there anymore.
And I think the Green Goblin blows up like part of the Twin Towers.
Fuck.
And that one I'm not 100% on, but I think there was like also a scene where like an explosion goes off either in the tower or near the towers, and they're like, yeah, no.
Yeah. Foreshadowing much. No.
Yeah, and I think it's because we only hear about those extreme cases where they're reshooting it to replace an actor. Or to get rid of something in the back, like so,
Back to the Future.
Yeah, so because of that, I think we hear the reshoots, and it has that negative like connotation when like it's not always the case. Sometimes they just need to pick stuff up. However, in the case of Captain America, it's probably fair to say that yes, some of these reshoots aren't those pickup shots I mentioned earlier. It probably is them adding some stuff or maybe changing something in some way, shape, or form. Because the other thing is also they can always change some of the stuff in editing if it's doable. It just depends, like, well, what exactly they want to change, right?
Yeah.
If you have enough footage, you can completely change. Well, not 100%, but yeah, you can change the tone and the feeling of a theme. There's all those like YouTube trailers where they make like a kids movie look like a horror movie.
Like a horror movie,
yeah. And that's just that's all through editing. They didn't reshoot fucking Ted. They just
reshot, edited the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what happens with this movie. I mean, I'm hoping it's good because me personally, all of the Captain America movies have been hits. All of them.
Yes, I think so. Yeah. I think they've all been great. This one I'm open to. I didn't think the show was as bad as people said either. I like Falcon and Winter Soldier. I thought the show was pretty good. I thought it was still kind of on point with what the movies were, especially Winter Soldier. Like, I liked their
I just remember they reshot the show.
Oh, they did? Oh, no. And I'm not going to lie, man, I thought Anthony Mackie's suit was dope, man. I know people were like, this looks stupid. I was like, this looks cool as shit. What do you mean it sucks? I think it looks cool
My problem with the show is more that the story seems kind of muddied. Like,
there you go. So this is what they reshot. So, for context, the show came out during the pandemic. The plot of the show was that they were trying to stop a terrorist because he had a bioweapon that, if released, could cause a global pandemic.
Damn.
It's
I say just go with it, man. You should have been like, let the conspiracy nuts even go even farther. Like, you know what? Film the same shit, put it out just like that.
Because of that, they had to reshoot it and they had to change the plot, and that's why the story. So, yep.
Okay,
they did that on
makes
purpose.
A lot of sense
Anthony
now.
Mackie's black. That's why they did it. Like, we can't let this happen.
I think they were like, look, Nintendo's already taking the heat for the pandemic because of Animal Crossing. We can't. We can't jump on this grenade for them. We got to change it.
Change it up. I'm hoping, like, from the last trailer that I saw, the tone seems like it's gonna still be somewhat on par with Winter Soldier. You know, kind of spyish a little bit. You know, with the bits of action mixed in, which I Winter Soldier is probably my favorite.
Same.
The Winter Soldier movie is probably my favorite. So I'm hoping they continue with that, because I think that's how it really works. I think that's Captain America right now is how it works. I think this just works for right now. I'm kind of excited to see fucking Harrison Ford as Red Hulk. So, I mean, we'll see how that goes. Harrison Ford's what, like fucking 85?
Right.
So, for as old as he is, he's about to Hulk out. Let's go.
Yeah, no. We'll see how it does, and we'll see how good the movie is when it comes out. So, all right. Let us now move on to our next topic. A little more lighthearted.
Just a little bit.
Let's talk about bananas in pajamas. So, for those of you that don't know what that is, it was basically a TV show about these giant sentient bananas that wear pajamas. And I think that's it.
Years before Fortnite.
Yes, before Peely was.
They're the original Peely. We are both platanitos.
But so why the hell are we talking about this random kids show? Well, one of the actors that played one of the bananas, he came out on a podcast. I'm trying to pull up the article. Here we go. So Kenneth Radley, who played Banana B1, was on the Final Encore. Is that the name? The Final Encore podcast, where he tells the story about how the costumes were stolen by the Russian mob.
Holy God.
And then they held it for ransom.
Wait, was this like recent or during production? Like when
during production?
Okay, that makes a whole lot more sense. I was like, why in the fuck are they sending John Wick to get to get the pajamas off these bananas from the 90s?
So this happened years ago, but he's barely telling the story. But the short version is there really isn't too much to this story other than that. It was that they were doing like a promotion across the overseas, and one of their stops. Here we go. He says that he was in Moscow, and that while they were in Moscow, the suits were stolen, and that there was a ransom note left. And basically, the note said, "We'll give you back the costumes for $100,000."
That's pretty steep.
That's pretty steep for the costumes.
So they get in contact with their boss from ABC and explain everything. And the head of ABC is like, "Well, we're not going to give him the $100,000. And then he asked, "Wait, how much does it cost to replace the costume?" And they said that it cost $20,000. So he's like, "Oh yeah, we're not gonna pay him that." So instead, he's like, "Tell him we'll give him $20,000, and if they take it, cool. If not, well, then just let them keep the fucking costumes."
So, did they I wonder if they took it.
They did not.
So they did take it. There's some Russian mobster out there.
Yes.
With just two bananas and pajamas.
Yes.
I wonder if he uses it for kids' parties now. He's just like, whoa,
right?
Might well go use them. Like,
that was
they
my
use it as disguises to go do drive-bys. That's what they're just.
Evgeny.
Oh God, I want him
take
to
the pyjama out.
At like I could just imagine him at a kid's party, like, hello boys, I am the banana in pajamas.
You know, if I had stolen them and they didn't give me the money for it, I'd probably just wear it all the time around the house. Just like, well, I got these fucking costumes now. I'm just gonna walk around town with it. I'd probably make YouTube content with that shit if I could. Like, if I had those,
right.
Be like, there's just a dude in a banana costume walks around town.
Hey,
what's up, man?
I like to picture
got like a little
also,
cigarette
like,
in his mouth.
you know how like they always say, like, you know, that DB Cooper, that they never caught the guy, and so there's always the story of, like, imagine you're going through like your grandpa's like attic or something, and you find a fucking parachute and a bag. So I like to picture what if someone in fucking Moscow goes to this grandpa and just finds
like, Grandpa, what's the story behind this? He's like, sit down, let me tell you.
And the gun.
And he tells him, it is true. I was the banana in pajamas.
You know,
really? Like, that
quick
was
tangent,
me on the show.
Quick tangent, Juan. So that situation you just described about DB Cooper just recently happened.
Shut the
They
fuck
think
up.
they have actually discovered who DB Cooper actually was, because the grandma, after she died, let them go through when they were going through stuff, they found the parachute that like had all the exact modifications and everything to it. They even got the name and everything, and they got a picture of the guy, and he looks just like the sketch.
I am fucking very skeptical about that.
I'm very skeptical about it too. I'll send it to you. I'll look it up and I'll send it to you, but because there's a video of it. But you just described what I just saw last night. And I was like, my God. Did Juan see the same thing that I just saw? I don't know how old it is, but apparently same thing. Going through their dead mother stuff, they found this parachute, and there's an investigator, like this guy that who's been looking for him, and you know, is like just one of those like guys that does this kind of stuff, and he's videotaped like, dude, we just solved it. Like, this is it. Like, holy shit. But yeah, now I want to go to Russia to see if I can find a Bananas and Pajamas guy.
Right.
Yeah, also, quick fact: the two original actors are EDM DJs. I don't know if you know that.
Oh,
I did not.
They're called Dada Life, and if you ever heard the song Rolling Stone T-shirt, that's the Bananas and Pajamas guys. And apparently, when they do some of their shows, they will do Bananas and Pajamas stuff. Like, but there's bananas and stuff there at their show.
Okay, that's funny.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, they became EDM DJs.
I respect that.
Only thing I'll add to this story is if I found the banana and pajamas in, like, I don't know, Grandpa's trunk, I would immediately steal it and go on Tinder and be like, solo te falta tu leche y tu plátano. Me recuerdas del cereal.
All right, we can move on.
Yeah, if you look at anybody goes out there, looks up Dada Live shows or like any other shows, bananas are incorporated in a lot of their stuff, in the music guys stuff, because they're the original actors for Bananas and Pajamas. God, that's awesome. All right.
We'll move on to our final story, and I guess Jay, do you want to introduce this one?
Sure. I need to reopen the fucking.
You got it. You got it. I guess all I'll say, like, to go back to the DB Cooper thing super quick.
Yeah.
I honestly thought the dude died during the jump, and that's why they couldn't find him. I was thoroughly convinced. I'm like, I think he died, man. Like, that's the easiest explanation for all of it. But
yeah, I remember Brad Meltzer, the author. he had a show on
the Decoded guy or whatever.
Yeah, that was the show. They did an episode or like 2 episodes on DB Cooper, and they found a lot of circumstantial evidence that's like it's got to be this guy, because they found I think he used to the guy that their primary suspect. He owned a building or a trailer. I don't know if that's what he lived out of, or that's or he was running a business there. But there was this vent that went nowhere. Like it was just a hole in the wall, and then they put a vent cover on top of it, and they're like, why in the fuck is this here? Yeah. So it's like, that's where he hid the money. It's got to be.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of other little stuff, but the vent was the one thing that like stuck with me, because even so, Brad Meltzer hosted the show, but he never like went anywhere. Like he was never the one that was investigating. It was always like these 2 other guys. But for the DB Cooper one, he's like, "Nah, we need boots on the ground. we need full power for this one." And I think he actually went to the place along with the other guys, the other investigators. But our final topic: legends come in many forms. One of them is Lemmy from Motorhead. Lemmy. Just when I thought this man couldn't be any more legendary, I found out yesterday that Lemmy's ashes are to be displayed at his favorite strip club.
God, that's fucking... You are a true legend. If even after death, they're like, you know what? We still gonna give this guy titties. Dude is still getting ass after death. Like...
So, he died back in 2015, and his ashes have been like not scattered, but there's been several urns, and they've been displayed at multiple places.
Mm-hmm.
The article here mentions the Rainbow Bar and Grill in Los Angeles, Rock City in Nottingham, and Hellfest in France. Now an urn containing some of Lemmy's ashes will be displayed at Stringfellows, one of the singer's favorite strip clubs in London. And now one of the primary reasons I want to go to Europe.
We're going to fucking London, boys. You know what?
Look, between the food and the tea, I never wanted to go to London. But for now,
I'm selling my car. We're going to fucking London.
Imagine how much of a Chad you'll be that you go to the strip club not to see tits, but to see Lemmy.
I'm just gonna be throwing ones at the air.
You walk in and they're like, "Hey, Daddy, where are the ashes? Where are the ashes? I came here for the ashes, not you and your beautiful tits. I came here for the ashes.
I'm here for the ace of spades, damn it!
I love you, Lemmy.
Lemmy.
Everybody just goes up there. You just like bow to it, throw some fucking dollars in it, and be like, and then before you go to the stage, this is for you, Lemmy. You just start fucking dropping.
You better appreciate these, Lemmy, because all these ones are in euros.
Start throwing.
These ones are actually twos.
Start throwing fucking euros and ones. Like, what are you doing? I came here for Lemmy.
This article doesn't have a picture of the urn. On Instagram. So I originally found this story on Instagram in Spanish. I don't know if that matters, but like my feed is kind of Spanglish. Sometimes I'll get English stuff. Sometimes I'll get Spanish stuff.
Same.
And I got a Spanish one that said, it said essentially the same thing, but the Instagram post had a picture of an urn. I don't know. It has to have been Lemmy's urn. I don't know if it was the real actual urn, but it had the hat. It had his cowboy hat. Like
that's
a tiny version of his cowboy hat. And I was like, God damn, that's a fucking awesome urn. Like,
okay, I'm looking at the picture. Okay, I'm seeing two. So I'm seeing that some of it was put in bullets, and those were given to close friends. And I'm guessing the rest were put in that.
That's fucking dopest.
Right. Yeah. And then the rest were in that urn with his hat.
With the cowboy hat. Yeah.
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 But still, putting ashes in bullets. That's gotta be cool.
So, here, I'm never gonna top Lenny, right? Or Lemmy. I'm never gonna be as famous. But here's an idea I came up with after I heard this. I know you can take some of your ashes and they can make like a small jewel of some kind. Yeah.
Yes.
I would like to do this, only don't put me on a ring like the jewel that's made out of my ashes. Don't put me on a ring or nothing. I want to be the little jewel at the end of a butt plug.
God damn it, that's what I was gonna fucking say. And send it to my favorite porn star.
God damn it.
If not that, make me a piercing. Like
Yeah.
I'll be someone's Prince Albert. I don't care.
I guess my other question would be to you guys is if you could pick where you wanted your ashes to be displayed, and it could be anywhere, where would you?
Anywhere.
Hypothetically, anywhere.
Damn, that's a tough one, man.
That is,
because I mean, this guy
like
fucking his favorite strip clubs. So
I mean,
I don't even know if I have a favorite. I guess it would be.
I don't have a favorite strip club, man. But I don't really have a favorite strip club.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a strip club. It could be.
No, yeah, I'm just saying because like, there's no way I can top Lenny.
Yeah.
But like, because I have strip clubs on the mind now, it's like,
right.
Where would I want mine displayed? Where I don't really have a haunt here in Austin. Like, there's not one place where I go all the time.
I mean, even me here, like,
I mean, I definitely don't want to be at fucking Cooters.
No,
It's like, I like Church's brisket, but I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't
want to be put at the bar there. No, I don't really have a haunt either or anything like that, so I wouldn't. No, like if I were famous, it'd probably be I'd probably try to do what Lemmy did, or with my family would be like, hey, put me up in like a strip club that I was fucking fond of, you know, because I'd be going if I had the money, I'd probably be going to the strip club a lot. Hell yeah. Or if I was a rock star like he was, I'd be probably going to the strip clubs and shit. Because originally I was like, man, you know what? I wanted a Viking funeral, man. Don't bury me, man. Just fucking set me on fire and
let you on
to the
fire.
Fucking ocean. Or like now I saw that you can be put in a pod and then you can become a tree.
Yeah, that's what
I was like, that sounds really fucking cool. Just be like, have the whole family be put in pods, and we'd be like a haunted forest together. We'd just all be together in a haunted forest, just be like,
right.
Like, why is this forest so weird? It's like, ooh. But yeah, you know, you're talking about the jewel one. I had to do the old ladies knitting class. I had to kind of be there to like kind of help and lead and all that stuff. I don't know nothing about knitting, but they're like, hey, Paco, we need somebody to be there for the old ladies. Can you go? I was like, I know nothing about knitting. They're like, you'll be fine. You just got to be there, like, just so somebody from your job is there, like, you know, supervising. I was like, oh, okay. And that's all she was talking about. She's like, oh, when I die, I don't want to be buried or I don't want ashes. You can turn me into jewelry and I just want to be made into a set of earrings. I was like, damn, girl. She's like 90, by the way. I was like, okay, damn, y'all really just
pretty ones.
Yeah. That's what she said. She's like, I don't want my kids to come look for me. And she's like, just make me into jewelry. I was like, you know, that's kind of not a bad idea, to be totally honest. But no, that's I don't know. I don't know where I'd want to be set up at. Like, I don't know, a buffet, like a really great buffet, like shit.
Round one,
round one, just be up at round one.
I know there were like those rumors that supposedly like people would spread ashes at the haunted mansion at Disney.
At Disney.
I think those are actually real. I think those aren't real.
People were actually doing that.
People tried to do it. They've thrown out more than a handful of people for trying, and I mean, someone has to have been successful.
I think there's probably several people that have been successful. You just got to be like, from when the moment you walk in, you got to be stealth about it. You know, like you got to be at your fucking hotel room, putting something on your arm. That way, when you're just having things down, like
you gotta be like,
you gotta be.
You gotta pull the Shawshank Redemption where it's like in your jeans, and you're just like constantly adjusting. Man, I want to give you an answer, but like I don't know where.
I would.
It's all right. I don't have an answer either.
Well, they're. Damn, dude, Lemmy just fuck, dude. Really fucking did it, dude.
Fucking.
I mean, unless you guys want to do like a Big Lebowski, and it's like, just throw me in the ocean.
I mean, yeah, kind of.
Nah, I don't really want to be in the ocean. Fish fucking it, like. One, I don't like fish.
Right,
it'd be like a hell for you.
Yeah, like I would say that I'd go in a river, but the river just goes into the fucking ocean again. So, honestly, I would like if I'm going to be scattered somewhere, I would probably prefer like the woods over like a body of water.
Mountains maybe.
Yeah, or maybe the lake, a nice lake.
Yeah,
somewhere in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Just because they look pretty.
In British Columbia, those lakes are really pretty in British Columbia.
Oh wait, no, I know where I want to be displayed. At the fucking Muscle Girl bar in Tokyo.
Oh, great pick. Solid pick.
You know what, man? Now that throw
me in a container of whey and just
you know what? Display. If I could be displayed, display me at fucking Rancho Obi-Wan. It's got like all the best Star Wars memorabilia, or like somewhere on the Lucas grounds. You know, fucking Star Wars Central.
Man, I guess
that's fucking display my ashes there, spread them there.
Now I'm imagining you like coming back as a Force ghost and just haunting the shit out of George Lucas.
Goddamn right! Why did you sell it to Disney? What's wrong with you? Just haunting everybody that has to do with Star Wars. It's just like, who is that? Mistake. We'll have to put the ashes here. Now he's just a Force ghost, fucking with everybody.
Man,
gives no critical feedback.
I won't be displayed at like a badass arcade now. Like either like Cidercade, Round One. Cidercade is fun. Just somewhere fun that has games.
Yeah, I think somewhere like that would be cool. Yeah, like I would say some like Rancho Obi-Wan or like Lucas Ranch, something like that.
Yeah,
it's Star Wars. It's what I love. So be made into a blade.
Yeah, solid picks. All right, and with that said, we'll wrap things up here. So now, in the comments, let us know where you would like to be displayed.
Where do you want to be displayed when you're with your ashes? Give us your most creative answers.
Right.
Nothing can top Lemmy, though.
Yeah, no. We'd love to hear them. Or you could just comment about any of the other stories we talked about, either Lemmy, or the bananas and pajamas.
Go listen to Dada Life. The original bananas.
What pajamas. Children's mascot would you kidnap for ransom?
For ransom.
Kidnap their costume.
I saw on Reddit that someone actually has the thinking chair from Blue's Clues.
From Blue's Clues?
Yeah, I'm sure somebody does.
Yeah, no, I saw a random post on Reddit where someone took a picture like, holy shit, like that's the chair.
Doesn't the lady from the Big Comfy Couch actually own the Big Comfy Couch?
Huh.
I think she does. I think the actress that was like the main character on there owns the Big Comfy Couch.
Well, there you go. But either way, you alphas, let us know in the comments what you all think. And as always, we will see you all on the next one. Peace.
Peace.